This is Horsepower Heritage. I'm Maurice Merrick. Well, I'm sure you know that I've got a soft spot for Restomods, and there are a ton of builders and options out there these days, which means one of the biggest challenges is how to stand out from the crowd. But I think my guest today has done a great job of that with a car he calls Scorched, a 1969 Ford Mustang Widebody in carbon fiber. And it has a great fresh look and all the mechanicals to back that up. Jason Engel is the man behind Trick Rides, a custom shop in Oklahoma that's focused on classic muscle cars like the Ford Mustang and Chevrolet Camaro. And you can check out their work at trickrides.com. By the way, Jason says there's all sorts of other stuff he'd like to build, but I mean, customers want Mustangs and Camaros, and who can blame them? I mean, they are classic. You know, I love talking to builders because you can learn a lot from them, and they're always looking at the newest technologies and techniques in the marketplace, which is great because if you've got a project car of your own in the garage, all that stuff trickles down to guys like you and me, and that's one thing that keeps the car hobby healthy. So without further ado, here's my conversation with Jason Engel of Trick Rides. Enjoy. Jason, thanks for coming on the show. I've been looking forward to this.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. So you're down in the Oklahoma City area, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're actually in a small town called Yukon, Oklahoma. It's a suburb of Oklahoma City.
And it seems to me like you guys have a great car culture in Oklahoma.
Yeah, we're located on Route 66, which is obviously very popular for muscle cars and collector cars. Oklahoma is pretty known for the muscle car era. We actually now are even seeing more exotics here.
Yeah, I have a friend who did his Army service at Fort Sill, and he was telling me that historically, Tulsa and Oklahoma City have always had kind of a good car scene because of the oil industry. There was always money there. So there were guys that were interested in cool cars, even back in the 20s and 30s. And I guess that's still true today.
Yes, it is. Yeah, you have the oil business is big here, and then ranching is big here. You got a lot of farmers that have done very well, and of course, they want those vintage trucks and cars.
I got to believe that muscle cars are popular for one reason, because Oklahoma is not exactly known for its twisty roads, right? So you guys got a lot of open, straight blacktop where you can open these things up.
It's flat.
Yeah,
there are no hills here.
Yeah, so lots of burnouts, right?
That's correct.
And I'm sure your cars do some very good burnouts. We're going to talk about all of your builds at Trick Rides. But before we get into Trick Rides as a business and talk about what you're producing, what got you interested in cars in the first place?
My father was in the car business growing up, and I saw a lot of muscle cars on the front line for sale. That always interested me. Then when I got a little bit older, 11, 12 years old, I was able to go start them up and move them around. And I got really involved in getting them ready to sell. So, paint work and this and that. And I could start evaluating. And this was as a young man before I was even 16, knowing what to repair to get them frontline ready. And then moving on as my teenage years, I was 16 years old, moved to Las Vegas, and at that point was introduced to lowriders, from, mini trucks to cars to Volkswagen Beetles that were slammed down on Empties, and it was so cool. I really got into it there. I learned a lot at that point, and the rest is history.
Dude, that mini truck scene in the 80s and 90s was huge. And where are they all now? I mean,
yeah, it's pretty crazy. They were cheap to build as a teenager. They were a lot of fun. You could personalize your own vehicle for a couple grand. I did see a few at SEMA this year, which was really interesting. And I do believe that it's coming back around. But a lot of those customization of those lowriders back then is fed into today's industry.
Yeah, I was going to say that because the mini truck scene, those guys were figuring some things out. They had to fabricate and invent. And, you know, mini trucks are a small package, so fitting it all together. All those Nissan hardbody pickups, that's what I
They're
remember.
so awesome.
Those with the all kinds of crazy paint schemes. Same with lowriders. It's like, in a way, that's a culture within a culture. With all the paint jobs and the art and everything. So pretty interesting stuff. But yeah, I got to believe there's mini trucks just kind of sitting in dusty corners in garages all over.
I would agree with you.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, and that scene hopefully is going to have a resurgence, because I think it's kind of nostalgic for me too. I remember a lot of that.
Yeah, it's pretty darn cool, man.
Hey guys, I want to take a quick break to say, if you enjoy Horsepower Heritage, there are a few ways you can support the show. Go to buymeacoffee.com/HP Heritage and become a patron. There's a link in the show notes. You can make a one-time donation, or you can support the show monthly. It's easy, and for the price of a latte, you can help me continue to bring you more of the people and stories behind the machines. You can also leave 5 stars and a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, because that helps new listeners discover the show. Thanks for your support, and now back to the show. Vegas had to be a culture shock coming from Oklahoma.
Oh my heavens. Yeah, getting there, that was definitely a culture shock. I went to Valley High, there in Henderson area, and in the parking lot, when you would pull up, there would be, Nissan hardbody extended cab slammed to the ground on Dayton wires, and I didn't see that here. But it interested me because, again, I've always liked, something personalized in a vehicle. But what a lot of fun. I really enjoy going back. My wife and I visit many times a year. I enjoy it there. It's a beautiful area.
Plus SEMA, right? I mean, you've been going to SEMA for many years.
Over 20 years.
Yeah. And I was at the SEMA garage not that long ago, and I was so impressed by what they do there.
It's cool.
Yeah, and the industry benefits so much. By the way, it is a tight-knit industry, especially what you're doing with Restomods and, really personal builds.
Yeah, it is a small industry. I'm a firm believer in working together with other builders. I work directly with some of the biggest Restomod builders in the industry, and share ideas, even share customer stuff, whatever. It's always nice to do that, and I think regular people that aren't on my world. Wouldn't realize that happens every day. We all sit down and hang out and talk. It's pretty cool.
Compare notes.
Yep.
How hard is it to differentiate yourself, though? Because it is a tight community. Everybody sees what everyone else is doing. I mean, obviously, you want to be individual, right? You don't want to even subconsciously take something from another builder necessarily.
Correct. Yeah. Well, I don't want to throw shade at any builders, but I do see a lot of copycat builds. And what I mean by that is the same guy that built a '69 Camaro with this color, with these wheels, and people like it, so they, replicate that build, which is cool. But I'm a firm believer in differentiating ourselves by developing something bold. Our designs in every vehicle we've released so far, we believe are very bold. Some users may not like them. Some people love them. But our idea and our motto here is to develop bold designs. And that's how we want to set ourselves apart.
And by the way, the Scorched Mustang that you're doing is wild. That's exactly the car as far as individuality and setting yourself apart. I can't wait to talk to you about that one. That's going to be fun. But I mean, it seems like there's more choices out there than ever in terms of resto mods or custom builds.
There is.
And so that's why it's important to, be individual and set yourself apart. What are some of the biggest industry changes you've seen over your, 28 years in this?
The ability to build something digitally. And when I say that, that wasn't at my fingertips 15 years ago. And I couldn't, jump on SolidWorks and develop a fender, a spoiler, and then send it off to, have it milled on a 6-axis machine for a plug. If someone told me that 15 years ago, my eyes would have been crossed, but you're able to do that now. And the ability to build a car in carbon fiber, it's a game changer, man. And that's what's really I see, and you see a lot of it at SEMA now. You're able to do some really crazy designs that really by hand would have been almost impossible to do to be able to do asymmetrical. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And, also carbon is so different than fiberglass, which was really the composite material of choice for so many years.
Yes, it was.
And also the cost of all of this development has come down, right? I mean, there was a time when this was kind of exclusive to an industry like aerospace, for example, but now all of those costs have come down.
Yeah, and I'm willing to talk about that. I don't mind, but I mean, to develop a car, to where you have the molds and plugs, man, you're gonna stuff out about $500,000. That's what you're gonna have, out of pocket. Then you have the molds and plugs and those things to be able to make the carbon to produce the cars.
You were talking about working in your dad's business, but did you have any formal training? I mean, because this is a huge learning curve.
Sure. Votech. I mean, I contribute a lot of my success to Votech. We have a really beautiful Votech here in Oklahoma, Canadian Valley. They've put a lot of money into it, a lot of really, really cool tools, man. 6-axis machines to you name it, water jets, yada, yada. But anyways, that from my freshman year moving forward all the way to my senior year, I mean, I was in Votech, and had wonderful instructors and wonderful people and it was something that I love too, right? So once you enjoy it, you really soak it in. That's a lot of the training. And then on top of that, I tell builders all the time, man, you learn with your checkbook. I've made mistakes.
Yeah. Well, you can't learn without making mistakes, right? I mean, it's part of the game.
Yes.
What was your favorite, you think, growing up and going through the Votech programs? What was your sweet spot?
I'd probably say, custom paint. We did a Fiero for our teacher, and we put flames on it. And to be able to tape all that off and show us the steps and fade them, and that was pretty cool, man. I mean, it was It was so cool that you could do that at school, as a teenager.
Yeah. Fiero, generation 1 or 2, or do you remember?
Gen 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another car, like, they were
Oh, man.
everywhere.
Man, and those cars, and I don't care what anybody says, man, the 6-cylinder version of those cars get down, dude. I mean, that was a scary car. It's funny.
I know, it takes me back, man. I think my high school parking lot had 6 or 8 Fieros in it. I mean, it was just Fieros
A
and
whole giant can of 180 horsepower.
yeah, right. Fieros and Mustang GTs, those were
Yep.
those were the cars. Looking back, what frustrated you early on? Like, because we all are growing and changing in whatever we choose to do, and
Mhm.
you kind of see things along the way and think, I wouldn't do it this way.
Yeah. If I would have changed anything at all, which we now have implemented, is not sticking with one car. We do Scorched, which you wanted to talk about later, but but then we also do a Dodge Charger, all carbon. We do a 69 Camaro in all carbon. We're doing a truck now in all carbon. So, I wish I would have done that many years ago.
Well, but also, certain cars kind of hit, right? Like people want certain cars. They're just popular.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it's also risky to maybe, I don't know, pick a certain car that isn't necessarily that popular and sink investment into it and try to
I've done it, man.
give me an example.
I did a 69 Camaro when I owned my previous company, Classic Recreations, and prior to selling it, I developed a '69 Camaro, called it the CR1. Put a lot of marketing into it. Dude, the car was just like everyone else's.
Right. Yeah.
It didn't sell. I was so let down with it. It was a beautiful car, but I chose to do it in a matte finish. Biggest mistake I ever made. It's such a niche color. I mean, mattes are cool, don't get me wrong, but they photograph terribly. It just didn't take off. That's a learning lesson of mine for sure.
Was this before the days of wraps?
It would have been right around the same time, and you're right. Everybody asked if it was a wrap, and it wasn't. And the car itself just, I don't know how to explain it. It just really didn't turn anybody on.
Well, sometimes you kind of fall in love with your own project, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a pitfall. Have you ever been a Mopar guy at all? I mean, you said the Charger, but
Oh
like,
yeah. So yeah, years ago I bought a '70 Cuda, chopped the top on it, flushed in some Dodge neon door handles, and and built it. I like them. I've always liked the Mopars, man. I mean, they're sexy. We're doing a '70 Charger carbon car, and we're doing a '68 Charger carbon car right now on
nice,
roaster shop chassis. Yeah.
nice. By the way, are these builds commission builds?
Yes, sir. Yeah, everything. I shouldn't say everything. 95% of the cars we build are commissioned. Yes, sir.
Yeah. How do you get the word out there?
Shoot, I bet half the customers that are here, are just word of mouth, man.
Plus,
Yeah.
I'm sure that clients find you, they see your car somewhere and they search you out. And you ever had somebody like come up to you at a show or whatever and say, "Hey, I want to order one right now"?
Yes. Yes, sir.
That's got to be exciting.
It is exciting. It's either that or, hey, man, will you do this? I mean, we'll do anything. I don't care what it is. I'll restore a Fiat. No, I don't really care. We want to do work, high quality work for the customer, and give them what they want.
How much involvement does a client have in the build? I suppose,
That's a good question.
I'm guessing some get way more involved than others. Some probably
Yes.
just want to write a check and they want to see it when it's done, right?
Yeah, that's very far in between, believe it or not. Most of them are pretty involved. I would say that the large portion are really looking for direction, and that seemed to work for me. I'll be able to to guide them in the right direction.
Jason, are there things you won't do? Like, I don't know, certain paint, certain.
Jaguars. I'm not building Jaguars.
Why? What's wrong with Jags?
Man, I have had hell with those cars. I just have. I've restored a few of them, and I just am not interested in Jaguars. Everything else, I'm good with.
Fair enough. Well, let's talk about some of these cars. We got to start with the Scorched Mustang because this thing is just off the chain, as they say.
Thank you.
I'm gonna give people a few specs. First of all, it's on a Roadster Shop chassis. In fact, I think all your cars are built on a Roadster Shop chassis, right?
That's correct. Every vehicle.
They're the industry standard. I mean, can't get any better.
Great people.
Yeah. So the Scorched has a 32 valve Coyote, supercharged, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Tremec T56 6-speed manual transmission, and then I see that a Boss 429 is optional too.
That's correct.
And how many of the Scorched Mustangs have you built so far?
4 total.
Has anyone ordered the 429 option?
Yes, 3 of them.
Wow. I'm surprised. I would have expected most of them to be Coyotes.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. But it really is cool, man. To pop the hood and see a hemispherical head Boss 429 by John Causey is pretty damn cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's no getting around that. And I want people to go to your website, which is trickrides.com, or they can go to my Instagram and they can see photos. But the Scorched Mustang has the most awesome fender flares and just body lines. I mean, it is extremely difficult to make a distinctive custom Mustang. I think it's because everyone has the Mustang seared in their brain. Like, we know that shape. It doesn't matter what year it is. All those classic Mustangs, like, you see it in your head, and yet you have come up with something new. It is amazing.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Tell me about shaping this car. Like, what was the process there?
Oh, and that was a year of hell. I mean, making it all work, like you said in design, like coming up with the front splitter, the rear diffuser, the spoiler, and then making it all flow in CAD was insane. I mean, it really is. Because really, and like you said, keeping some of the Mustang lines.
Oh,
That's whew.
definitely. I mean, and it is a wide body. We're talking about front and rear fenders, but also it seems like you've done some tricks to the very front of the car. I mean, like you said, the splitter and everything, but I don't know, it flows really well. I love how the front air dam and splitter, they kind of flow back into it tucks under at the front.
Yes,
It
sir.
looks so good. Um, that was all done in CAD?
Yeah, everything. That entire car was done in CAD. To the point, I mean, even the mounting fixtures were done in CAD.
And the hood scoop, awesome. And
We integrate that scoop on a lot of our cars too, which is funny.
how much is steel versus carbon on this car?
That's a good question. So basically, the whole inner structure is the factory inner structure of the Mustang, and then if it's like you're looking at a human skeleton versus a human with skin. That's what we did it's what we do with all of our cars that are carbon.
I love that rear scoop. That it's right behind the door. It's right behind the door cut. And is that functional?
Yes, sir.
So that's just is that brake cooling?
Yes, it is. So you can, if you look at it, it's actually angled down to ram air into the brake area. Yes.
Yeah, I can see that. And the other thing that's cool is, some vehicles like this, when they're like deep custom jobs or Restomod jobs, they look cool from some angles, but other angles don't really hit right. And you guys, I mean, you did a really good job of just integrating it from any angle.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of hours. I like I said, no kidding. It was around a year in just digital development. It's crazy.
Also, so for if people need to picture a 69 Mustang, but it's basically a camtail. It's flat in the back, but the Scorched kind of it's at a different angle. It kind of kicks up a little bit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That looks incredible. That's another again, it's like it's familiar, but it's different enough where
Yeah, when we first saw the rear, like when we got the deck lid here, we were like, "What?" Because in CAD it looks differently, but the 69's got kind of that flat across the back section of the car, and I wanted to keep that because it resembles a 69.
and the other cool thing is, I mean, everyone knows how traditionally cars were done in clay and they tried all sorts of different stuff, and that's very expensive. But the CAD allows you to try before you really commit those resources.
Yeah, I mean, we set the Roadster Shop chassis on the body. We determined at that point, thrust angle and where the wheel's going to land, and how big we're going to be able to run 'em. It's crazy, man. Technology has really changed the game.
How many iterations or maybe styling studies did you go through on the Scorched? You said it took like a year and a half.
Yeah, at least 20.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for me was that's not big enough. And everybody's like, well, somebody's not going to like it. I don't really care. I mean, if you want to do bold, and bigger.
More muscles.
And it's tough, man. It's tough to make all that work.
And the interior, again, we're talking about familiar but different enough. Like the dashboard is largely that familiar 69 Mustang shape, but you have a really nicely integrated console and the instrumentation.
Yeah, we really wanted to be a little different. We partnered with Autometer on our gauges and used their carbon gauge, and they were kind enough to print our logo on their gauge, which was really cool. Then we used TMI's new seat. That seat was intended to be used on a side by side. And I know it's crazy, but I was able to look through all these seats and I was like, that one. He goes, well, that goes in a side by side. It's going in a Mustang now. So it turned out really well and it worked. You still get that real racy feel, but yet you can get in and out of the car.
Yeah. And it's got plenty of bolster, but it doesn't look like, racing seats can be uncomfortable over time. And you want to be able to, on your cars, you want the client to be able to comfortably, do a road trip or whatever and not get stiff. So
I agree. They're very comfy.
By the way, I love the shifter. It is old school.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that white shift knob.
Yeah, that was our choice. I had to do that, man. I thought I threw back some 90s in there.
Yeah, it's perfect. I think it's really nicely integrated. Is that steering wheel carbon also?
Yes, so that's a Billet Specialties steering wheel with a carbon wrap.
Okay. People have got to go, like I said, the website is trickrides.com. You got to go and scroll through some of these photos while you're listening to see what we're talking about. Very impressive. What's your favorite part of the Scorched Mustang?
Probably the rear diffuser. That the Carbon brothers who manufacture our carbon, which did an incredible job, by the way. I think there was some expletives when they were laying that carbon up. That's an intricate piece right there.
Also, integrating the exhausts with splitters and aero like this is no easy feat.
It was not.
Car's lowered, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so a roadster shop chassis that we use usually drops them about 3.5 inches from stock.
Let's talk about the suspension, Jason, because you want this thing to handle like a modern car too. I mean,
yeah, so we chose roadster shop because they've already done the work.
Yeah.
They set them up correctly. It's an independent front, with rack and pinion steering, solid axle rear. They have built using Fox coilovers. These things drive. I mean, they drive and run. I can't explain it to you. I mean, it just drives like a new car.
Well, and that's the thing about, I think most Restomod customers want that. They want that classic look. They want that nostalgia, but they want a car that they don't have to worry about maintenance or, all the little things that happen with old cars.
Yes.
It's all about, just having that modern reliability.
Yes, it is. And being able to implement that modern technology into that car. The chassis is the most important part, right? I mean, that's the bones. And a Mustang never had a chassis. It's a unibody. So you're throwing a chassis underneath a unibody car, and it's unbelievable. I'm telling you, they drive phenomenal. It's done.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally call Phil, hey, man, I need, 4 '69 Mustang chassis with 6-piston Bear brakes because we use Bear. And they'll show up here in about, normal time for those are probably 5 months. And they show up, they're already powder coated. You literally, it's assembled. You just bolt it on the car. It's crazy.
And another cool thing about your builds, Jason, is people can order whatever color, but they can also order the Bear Carbon, which I know it's not easy because you got to line up the weave.
That's correct. All the weave pattern matches on all of our cars. All the way around.
Of the 4 Scorched Mustangs you've built, has anybody ordered Bear Carbon?
No, they've done candies.
Okay.
Which you can see through.
Right.
But no, not a full exposed would be insane.
It would be.
Car would be. Wow. Yeah.
That'd be a cool SEMA build, honestly.
I agree.
Yeah, maybe you could
give me some ideas.
There you go. All right, so 4 of the Scorched Mustangs have been built, and people are going to wince on the price, right? But
yeah, we come in. Well, how do I verbiage this? We come in under most fully carbon built, badass muscle car builders, where we're going to come in a little lower because we've taken something, we've learned how to replicate it. It's not a one-time thing. So they start at $429. No pun
I was
intended,
going
but
to say,
that's
I know why you picked that.
I know, man. We did it because we offer the Kazi 429, but that's where they're going to start. And with options, your average is going to be in that 4.5 range.
Sure. Well, I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's less than 800,000, which you're going to get another carbon car from another builder. So I mean, we feel like we're fair in the marketplace. We know what it costs to build them, and we're giving our customers a really high quality product.
I mean, let's be honest, in the car world, nothing is really that rational price-wise. It's what you
No.
love and what you want.
Correct.
And there's an ass for every seat.
There is an ad. That's my father talking right there. An ask for every seat. That's awesome.
I love it. All right, so other builds you've got. You're still doing Camaros. The 69 is your sweet spot, and it's a long way from that Camaro build that you
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
talked about earlier.
Yeah, different world.
And you call your Trick Rides Camaro the Rogue.
That's correct.
So let's talk about that car.
So it's all carbon fiber as well. The exterior, just like we do with Scorched. There's some really neat small details done to that. Like we shaved the drip rails on it, filled in the cowl, smoothed the hood up, little things like that. They're on a roadster shop chassis. And surprisingly, if you saw a Mustang roadster shop chassis and a Camaro, they are so similar. It's the same suspension. That's what's so great.
Yeah.
Anyways, we do that, and we offer the Blueprint crate engines in those now. The LT4s have just been so hard to get, so we removed it from the menu.
I would say the Rogue Camaro is way more traditional. I mean,
It's safe.
it's safe, and like if one passed you going the other way on the highway or whatever, you might not realize what it really is. You might just think that's just
A cool Camaro.
Yeah, it's just a cool Camaro, but you get close, man. I mean, the one on your website, I love the fact that it's got rally stripes, but it's a clear, right?
Yes.
So you see the carbon through the entire bodywork and through the rally stripes. That's a really nice touch.
Thank you. Yeah, they're a fun car to build. We called it Rogue because I hate to say it, but a lot of purists just puke at the fact that we're taking a 69 Camaro and making it carbon fiber. So we it's going Rogue.
Yeah, no, it's appropriate. And there is a really trick thing you're doing with the paint on this car, which is, should we even call it paint? It is paint, right?
Correct. Yeah. So we're using candies. We take and mix our own candies here. And we use a mid coat, and we find out how dark we want it, and we're spraying that candy over. So you're able to see the carbon through it. So it actually looks like red carbon, but it's really not.
Yeah. And the distinctive thing about this particular paint job is it's like shaded. There's a gradient in a way, and it flows across the body lines. It's dark here, it's lighter there, and it kind of accentuates things.
Thank you. Yeah, it's in the sun, a candy reacts with silvers below it. Well, obviously we can't do that. Well, the carbon has that silver element in the sun, and it makes it just like, you'll see that car looks really dark red.
Yeah.
And then when the sun hits it, it's like, oh my gosh, it just lights up. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it almost looks iridescent, which is a neat touch.
It is. It looks cool, man. I mean, in person, it's just breathtaking.
And I noticed you got some cool Ring Brothers parts on these cars too.
Yeah, we work with every car we build, truck, everything uses all the Ring Brother hinges, door handles. They have a wonderful product, and they're just really good people.
They're great people. Yeah, love Mike and Jim.
I do too.
And Ryan, by the way. Shout out to Ryan.
And Hunter. You can't forget Hunter.
And Hunter.
That's all the parts.
Yeah, absolutely. Forge Line is your wheel of choice.
Absolutely.
Why? What do you like about Forge Line?
Well, I'm a big believer in relationships in this industry, and they have stepped up for me for 20 years, man. And they'll do anything. I tell them I need a wheel for SEMA. I need it done in this time. It's here. They build an extremely high quality product. It's 3-piece, which is really cool. You can pick any color you want for the centers. They work with you on any kind of, custom offsets you're looking for. I mean, what else do you want? You know,
I think wheels are really overlooked part of any build, and the wrong wheel can just kill the vibe entirely.
I agree.
It's tough. How many wheel and tire combos do you think you go through before you like settle on the right one?
Well, again, you're able to do that digitally now. So that's changed that game, right? So I can just sit here and throw, different wheels on it. On the Scorched car, I told everybody, I don't want the wheels to distract from the car. I don't want to, we just went with a 5-spoke. Simple.
No, they look really good. They also have, in a way, they kind of have a vintage feel. They're sort of
Yeah.
like they don't look too modern on the car, is what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ford's line, I mean, they deliver, man. I don't know how to put it. I hear it from builders all the time about wheels and the fight they have. Oh, it's going to take 12 weeks and this and that. Man, and Ford's line will work with you. It's not like they're, going to get them done faster than everybody else, but if you have a deadline, they're going to take care of you. They've been really good to me.
Not to jump around, Jason, but there was something else that I thought was really cool about your builds, which is that you're doing flush front and rear glass.
Yes, everything we build is flush mounted glass.
And such a good touch. How difficult is that to engineer?
Well, once you have a scan of the factory glass and you're making the molds, we're just making the hole smaller.
Yeah.
It's not as hard as you think. And it's such a nice touch. You're not having to hammer on that chrome and stainless and having to worry about all that. We use a 3M product on the back, so it makes it look like a black band. And we're just urethaning them in like you would a new car.
But
easy.
This also means the glass is custom to your builds, right? I mean,
no,
it's not.
We use factory glass, man.
Oh, okay. Wait, so
yeah.
So like on the Scorched car, let's take that as an example. That would fit any 69 Mustang?
Yeah.
Wow, amazing.
Yes, that's a factory 69 windshield, factory 69 back glass.
Okay, I just wouldn't have guessed that. I would think that the edges might be different or something like that, but But the glass technology, obviously, it's the same. It's the same part, but it's modern glass technology. It's not what.
It's brand new.
Yeah, it's not what you would have gotten back in the day. So
no.
you got the UV and all of that stuff in the glass.
Yeah, we use Pilkington glass on all of our cars. It's really high end stuff. It's good stuff.
Are there any electronics built into the glass, like a defrost or anything like that?
No, I mean I can.
Yeah,
if I wanted to, but no, we went simple. I'm not firm, but I'm kind of weird with stuff like that. As a builder, I always advise my clients to stay simple. I always tell people the KISS theory. Keep it stupid simple, right? Roll up windows. Put some bitchin' Ring Brother billet roll ups on them and stuff, and call it a day. It makes life a lot easier for later down the road. And I like electronics. Don't get me wrong. I mean, these all have great sound systems. We use Alpine technology in our cars with those. They sound great with MP. Your plug-in USB stuff and Bluetooth and all that. But as far as all the other electronics, I keep it kind of simple, man.
By the way, your underhood. I know I'm jumping around here, Jason, but I guess I'm just kind of excited about these cars. Your underhood is super clean. Everything's routed really nicely. That takes hours and hours to get that right.
Oh yeah. Hiding things and keeping it clean in there it's a ton of hours. You're right. We hide everything underneath the fenders. We try to, at least.
Yeah. And on this particular car, looks like on the website, that's the Boss 429 under the hood there.
Yes, sir.
And you've got an old school air cleaner, but it's custom to you.
Yes. Yeah, I wanted it to look old school, man. So underneath that's a Holley Sniper 2 injection.
Yeah, it's super clean under the hood, and I don't know. That's one of the things I look at that separates some builds from others.
Yeah, it is, and I'm kind of a big believer. I see a lot of show cars where they build what I call engine closeouts, which are bitching. We can do that too. But that you're able to hide everything that way, right?
Yeah.
We put a closeout around it. But we didn't do that. We wanted to hide it anyways and not have any closeout. So you can see the headers on our cars alone, the stainless headers on those cars on the Boss 429 is a piece of art. I mean, you look in there and you're like, wow. So I want everybody to see all that.
Well, yeah. I mean, car guys like that mechanical aspect. One of the most frustrating things about modern cars is everything is hidden under plastic panels under the hood.
I agree.
And I guess part of it is it's maybe not that interesting to look at, versus an older car. You also have a build you call the Shelby GT350TR for trick rides.
Yeah.
And again, almost an impossible task to differentiate this shape in the marketplace.
Yeah. So we work directly with Shelby, right? And I love that car. I always have. We wanted our own iteration of it. I will say this openly now. We do those in steel, but we are currently building that car in carbon. We're developing it right now as we speak. Should have that done. I hope Carbonver's listening. In about 60 days.
Okay.
We should see the carbon.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So again, go to the website, look at the photos or my Instagram. But I want to talk about a couple of details in this car. The first thing that stands out to me is the reverse hood scoop. I don't even know if that's what we should call it, but it's engine compartment ventilation, right?
Correct. So wind comes off the windshield and then, jams into the inverted scoop that you see. That's how it works.
Oh, interesting.
That came from, so if you look at the, like a 2011 Shelby, they called them a CS8. They built a CS6 and a CS8. That is the hood. So Shelby was kind enough to send me just a skin that we grafted onto a 66 and then made a mold from. So that's where that came from.
Okay, I just got to describe this a little bit for people who can't see it right now. But if you think of a Shelby GT350 and you envision the hood, from the leading edge of the hood, the panel kind of kicks up just a little bit, and then a foot and a half into that panel, like as you go along the hood, there's a vent, but that is all nicely faired and integrated so that you got a cut line around the perimeter of the hood, and then it all flows nicely outward. Fantastic shape.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, that was a cool design.
Really like it. The other thing I like is those side pipes.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that really, where I kind of got that vibe from was the Dodge Viper. If you remember, how they kind of floated in the front and then came out. That, and then I don't know if you ever follow or look at any of the Shinoda Mustangs.
Oh yeah.
Those are so cool. So he did some like that too. So I kind of pull the vibes from that.
I can see it. And you've got kind of subtle fender flares on the GT350.
Yeah. Just it allows for a bigger wheel and tire.
Right. And it's nothing too radical. It's still kind of a traditional look.
Yep.
Yeah. And the front air dam.
Yeah. So you want a splitter,
Right.
and I tell people all the time, that straight at the bottom of that 350TR rams air into the front of the car. I mean, that's what it does.
Yeah.
That's its job. And if you look above that, that is a GT350. That's what they are.
Yeah.
And I just took the bottom and just basically molded a splitter onto the bottom of it.
Yeah, I see it. And the other cool thing is, this car isn't too pretty. I don't think any Shelby should be too pretty because, I mean, after all, they were race cars. Yes, they built production cars, but a lot of them got raced and they were race spec. And they need to look the business, and I think this one does. Not that you would race it, but I just like that look.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much. As a designer, it means a lot for somebody to appreciate it because it's so many hours, man.
We should say that these aren't obviously built on. You're not taking a original GT350 and making a Restomod.
No,
I mean, come on.
No, we are licensed. We're licensed by Shelby to do that vehicle. It isn't. It's a licensed Shelby when it's completed, but it starts life with an original Mustang.
Is it getting hard to find original dry cars as your basis?
Yes. Yes, it is. It's the hardest ones right now are the Mopars.
Really?
I mean, man, Chargers, I give 25 grand for a donor.
Wow.
For a donor, and this is a total rust bucket.
Wow. Well,
It's crazy.
I guess we can thank the Duke boys for wrecking so many.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah.
Hey, Jason, you've got an upcoming build. Like, this is your latest and greatest that we have to talk about, which is, well, why don't you tell us about it?
For about a year and a half, Carbon Brothers have been poking at me on an F100, and I finally gave in. I'm a big truck guy anyway. And we're in Oklahoma, right? There's trucks
Sure.
everywhere, and so we're building two of them right now. They are carbon fiber, and they're our own design. So we kind of integrated that scorched hood scoop a little bit. Did a flushed bumper with some Venture air ducts in them, and I think the coolest part of this truck was this rear spoiler. So what we did, our designer with Ben Hermance, we worked together and basically built a flat panel, if you can imagine, on top of the tailgate, and then the spoiler deploys up off of that. So it comes back down, but it deploys up off that. You have to do it manually, but it's super cool looking. I'm really excited. We're doing a four-wheel drive version and a slam down version.
Yeah, it does look cool. And the slammed version is going to obviously, the bed's going to be kind of shallow because you got to tuck everything up. Yeah, exactly. Like, but really nicely integrated and still functional. There's plenty of load space if you want to haul cargo at a very high rate of speed.
Yeah, be cool, man.
Yeah, nice, dude. So you're calling it the Tricky F100.
Yes.
And when do you think that's going to be available, or when are you going to finish the first one?
We will have one at SEMA this year.
Sweet. Right now on the website, you've basically got concept renderings. So
yes,
I imagine certain things might change, but it's probably fairly
close.
Fairly locked, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be close. It won't be that color at SEMA, but
yeah.
You talk about lessons learned. I will never debut a carbon car and paint it ever again. I never caught so much flack in my entire life. So from moving forward, they will be candy when I unveil a carbon car.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that because I don't know. Part of the fun is seeing that carbon.
That, and then a lot of people didn't believe it was carbon. You got some people walking up, tapping it. What is that?
By the way, how much weight savings are we talking about? Like, let's take the Scorched 69 Mustang, for example. I mean, what kind of weight savings versus an all steel?
About 750 pounds, somewhere around there. Lighter than stock.
It's substantial.
That's a lot of weight, man. I mean, and that's power to weight. I mean, it's you can definitely feel it.
Yeah. And with the Coyote, you're talking 780 horsepower?
Yeah, 780, 790.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's safe. I mean, you can push it further, obviously, but that's a safe tune, and that's plenty of power.
I would love to hear that thing with the supercharger spooled up.
Me too. The first one out, it will be a Gen 5 Coyote supercharged. We use VMP superchargers. Is what the first one will be. Yes. We also offer the Boss 429 in that truck, believe it or not.
Cool. And the SEMA build, is it going to be slammed or is it going to be the 4x4?
That's going to be a secret.
Oh, man. All right. Okay. You can keep a secret. Well, I'm sure the color is going to be wild too. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, we're really excited.
Jason, what is your favorite part of what you do? Because you're obviously a very enthusiastic guy and you got a lot of irons in the fire, a lot of things to manage. But what do you like most?
My crew.
Yeah.
Man, I come to work every day. I've been doing this long, and I have, seriously, it's almost emotional for me. I've got the coolest crew of human beings. I come in, they do what needs to be done. They don't complain to us. They bust their ass, And to be able to come in here and sit down and talk with you for an hour and not even be remotely concerned of what's going on out there, that's my favorite part of my day.
Yeah, you obviously doing something right. There's a lot of little shops, and I'm not saying your shop is little, but there's a lot of independents out there who the boss is trying to do it all and
Can't micromanage it, man.
can't do it. Can't do it.
No.
How many guys on your team?
12.
12. Okay. By the way, how do you break down the process? I mean,
Well, our that's a good question too. I can answer this shortly, but our facility here is a little different than most. So we have 5 separate buildings in one big compound, right? And so we differentiate each stage in different parts and different buildings. So they're not all together in one giant building. I believe that helps. It also keeps the dirty part of the build over here, the clean part over here, and separates it out. That's where I think, are a little bit different than most shops as well. It's kind of a pain in the butt sometimes because I know it could be a tiny bit more efficient being together, and I get that. But having them all separated is really great for the end product.
well, I'm sure with all your experience over the years, you've fine-tuned things. You've figured out what works for you.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, we have.
Jason, what's something that you haven't built yet that you would love to build someday? I mean, something wild, maybe a car that
Okay, there's 2 I want to do so bad, and I'm going to do them. Okay, I want to do 82 to 90 Camaro
okay.
carbon wide body,
Yep.
and I want to do Fox body. Um, you know, I'm gonna do them in carbon and gonna put the Trick Rides touch on them. It's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when we're gonna do it. So I'm like, both those cars are just so damn cool. And now Roadster Shop makes a chassis for both those cars, and all this technology is available. And I've seen iterations of them. Don't get me wrong. But I want to do ours.
I think it would be great. And by the way, the Camaro, I really like that idea, and I'll tell you why. Couple reasons. Number one, in those years, they were kind of gutless if you think about what came before.
305.
Yeah, right. And, all the emission controls and all that stuff. And, those were kind of lean years for muscle.
I agree.
The other thing is, I kind of feel like they look a little dated now.
I agree.
At the time, they were pretty sweet.
That was crazy. Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
I think it is totally ripe for you to reshape and refine everything.
We're on the verge. We're so close on both of those.
Especially the relationship of the wheel and tire to the wheel well and the body. I think those bodies looked a little bit bloated, the overhangs, things like that. Man, I bet you could really refine that.
You could, and in Forge Line now, it's crazy. We were at SEMA. They built an IROC wheel, man, 3-piece. I mean, it was like, okay, it's an omen. We have to build the car. But no, yeah, you could. There's some design you could do on those. It's going to be. We already have sketches we've been working on that make them really aggressive.
Looking forward to seeing that. All right, Jason. Well, listen, thank you so much. I got to get down there and check out your operation sometime.
I'd love that. Absolutely.
Jason Engel from Trick Rides. You can see more at trickrides.com. And man, this has been really fun.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your time today.
That's all for this episode of Horsepower Heritage. Support the show by becoming a patron. Go to buymeacoffee.com/HP Heritage. And just for a few bucks each month, you'll help keep these wheels turning. It's the price of a latte. What am I saying? It's cheaper than a latte these days. You can find more great stuff on the YouTube channel and on Instagram. Just search for Horsepower Heritage. And if you enjoy the podcast, leave me a 5-star rating and a review on the podcast app of your choice. And until next time, I'm Maurice Merrick. Thanks for listening.